What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video. And today I wanted to bring a classic card back into the forefront. And that is, of course, Dakkon Blackblade. But before we get into today's deck tech, if you think that I'm doing a good job, feel free to subscribe, only if you feel that I've earned it. If you want to see your commander made into a deck tech, drop it in the comments down below. I'll get that done for you. And if you have a deck that you have made and you want to see that featured, we do deck showcases. Just drop the Moxfield link down below along with a short descriptor of it, so that way I get the right idea behind it. But let's get back into Dakkon Blackblade, shall we? So Dakkon here is from Legends, and he has Star for his power and toughness. He is 2 generic, 1 white, 2 blue, 1 black. And he has his power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Now this will look very familiar for you newer Magic players. When you see the Blackblade reforged, it does give plus based on the number of lands, and this is who it's based off. This is his blade that he wields. And so we're going to be having some lands out there. We're going to be smashing in with our commander, and this one's going to be a very thematic deck. It's coming in at $300. That is, I'm going to tell you right now, about 70 bucks of that is one card. I did put Urborg in here specifically because of another card that relies on swamps, and in a 3-color deck, having a lot of swamps is tricky. So, then we have Dakkon Shadow Slayer. Apparently, Dakkon Blackblade became Dakkon Shadow Slayer, a planeswalker. He comes in, he enters with a number of loyalty counters equal to the number of lands you control, which is always good. He does cost Esper to put into play. He +1, you can surveil 2 with him. You can -3 to exile a creature, and -6, you may put an artifact card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. Not too bad at all. You know, he'll bring back your Blackblade. For our creatures, we are running 18 here. We have Baleful Strix, Flying Death Touch when it enters draw a card. This is one of those that you could bring back with your Blackblade Planeswalker, right? But other than that, he's a little blocker that draws you a card. We have Burnished Heart, which is sacrifice it, search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped. Deep Gnome Terramancer. Whenever 1 or more lands enter the battlefield under an opponent's control without being played, you may search your library for a plains card and put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Do this only once. I did go budget with the mana base, so it'll pretty much only be fetching basic plains. But please note that if you play this in a deck, it is not just basic plains. You can fetch duels with this as long as you have the plain subtype. We have Golden Forge Thopter, which has flying and lifelink, and each legendary permanent you control has ward 2, you know, making it a little bit more taxing for people to kill Dakkon, because, you know, he does cost like 6, and that's not a very fun thing to do. We have Herald of Leshrac. This card used to see an absurd amount of play back in the day in early EDH when my friends played it. But he's a 2/4 for 7. You might be like, holy hot damn, why is he 7? And, well, this is why. He has flying, not too bad there. And then he has cumulative upkeep. And the cumulative upkeep is gain control of a land you don't control. So you can steal your opponent's lands. And then he gets +1/+1 for each land you control but don't own. And then when he leaves play, each player gains control of each land he or she owns that you control. So they get their lands back when dies. We have Knight of the White Orchid, which is first strike, and when he enters, if an opponent controls more lands than you, so if you're playing against a green player, you can search your library for a plains card, again, doesn't have to be a basic, and put it onto the battlefield, not tapped. For Cartographer, when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a plains card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library, again, does not have to be basic. We have Korlash, Heir to Blackblade in here. This is one of those thematics here. His power and toughness are each equal to the number of swamps you control. He's the reason that we're playing Urborg Tournament Yawgmoth. You can regenerate him, and he has Grandeur. Discard another card named Korlash, Heir to Blackblade. Search your library for 2 swamps. That ability is completely useless in EDH unless you're playing Claw. So we are playing him to be a beat stick. And yes, I know that's terrible, but we're doing theme here. Theme with Blackblade. We have Loyal Warhound. When he enters, if an opponent lands, you can search your library for a basic Plains card. Put it on the tapped. We have Ob Nixilis, the Fallen here. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you may have target player lose 3 life. If you do, put 3 1/1 counters on Ob Nixilis. Pilgrim's Eye, it lets you search for a basic land card and put it into your hand. Poo Poo UFO flies, and you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Until end of turn, this creature's base power and toughness base power becomes equal to the number of towns you control. So this is just here. Put little lands into play. Pure Steel Paladin. Whenever an equipment you control enters, you may draw a card. An equipment you control equip cost of 0. As long as you have Metalcraft, which is 3 or more artifacts, which we have lots of artifacts in this. We have Scampering Surveyor. He gets a land. Solemn. He gets a land and draws you a card. Dies. We have Strom, which is whenever you cast an R equipment or vehicle, you draw a card. We have Trophy Mage, which is when Trophy Mage enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 3. Reveal it and put it into your hand. Shuffle your library. We have Weathered Wayfarer. Search your library for a land card. Reveal it and put it in your hand. Give me one moment, friends. My wife is calling. And I'm back. For sorceries, we have Compulsive Research. Target player draws 3 cards. Then that player discards 2 cards unless they discard a land card, which are going to be fetching lots of lands, so it should be fine. We have Fabricate. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So we do have this tutor because we do want to try to get our Blackblade, right? Oh, this is what I get for updating the cheapest. Aha! Gift of Estates. If an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for up to 3 Plains cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. For those of you not playing on a budget, please do note that this also does not say basic play. We have Supreme Verdict. It can't be countered, and it destroys all creatures. We have Time Wipe. Return a creature you control to its owner's hand, then destroy all creatures. Return your Dakkon, so that way, you don't have to pay 8. Instance. We have ourselves Anguished Unmaking. We'll go through removal first. Anguished Unmaking, Fell the Profane, Generous Gift, Stroke of Midnight, Despark, Mortify, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile. And then we also have Esper Charm, which can hit an enchantment. Then we have our Counter Magic in an Offer You Can't Refuse, and Arcane Denial. And we have Card Draw in Frantic Search and Esper Charm. For artifacts, yes, this is Voltron and some silly stuff behind it, so here's what we've got going. We have Arcane Signet in here, as well as Soul Ring, because our commander is expensive. We do also have a whole bunch of land-based artifacts. So we have our Armillary Sphere. You search basic lands, put them into your hand. We have Bitterthorn, Nissus Animus. This will help us with both the Voltron and the search. This card is $30 though. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your land, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. We have Explorer's Scope. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. We have Dowsing Dagger, which gives +2/+1, gives somebody 2 plants, but when you connect with it, it turns into Lost Veil, which adds 3 mana of any one color to your mana pool. Turns into a land. Expedition Map lets you tutor up a land, so tutor up your Urborg. We have Hithlane Rope. It can't be sacrificed. You can tap it to search your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped, and then the player to your right gains control of it. You can also pay 2 to draw a card, and the player to your right gains. We have Horn of Greed, which is whenever a player plays a land, that player draws a card. This is also a pretty expensive card at $20. Navigation Orb also gets it, right? It gets 2 basic land cards or gates. Europa Ori. Each player may play an additional land each turn, and at the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, that player draws 3 cards. Seer's Sundial, so whenever you play a land, you can pay 2 to draw a card. Sword of the Animist. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. And whenever a equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. We do have Trailblazer's Boots in here for non-basic land walk. We have Wayfarer's Bauble for some land. Whisper Silk Cloak makes it so something has Shroud and can't be blocked. Thematic Compass, search your library for a basic land card, put it in your hand. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 7 or more lands, you flip it, and it becomes Spires of Erasco, which is a Maze of Ith. For our big smashy, we do have Blackblade Forged. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land you control. It can equips to legendary creature for 3. We have Mask of Gristlebrand. Equipped creature has flying and lifelink, and whenever equipped creature dies, you can pay X life, where X is its power, to draw X cards. So if Dakkon's really big, you can shotgun yourself for 1 billion, and, you know, just draw a bunch of cards off that. Enchantments, we have Felidar Retreat. It's landfall. You know, you can put a cat into play or put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. We have Flowering of the White Tree. Legendary creatures you control get +1, non-legendary 1. Forge Anew, which is when it enters, return target equipment from your graveyard to the battlefield. As long as it's your turn, you may activate it. We have Land Tax in here, which if you have less lands, you can search for up to 3 land cards, put them in and shuffle. Retreat to Emeria Landfall. You get to create a core, or creatures you control get +1/+1. And we have Steel of the Godhead, which is the enchanted creature is white, it gets lifelink, and if it do, it is unblockable. For our lands, like I said, we're pretty cheap on our lands, other than Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Each land is a swamp in addition to its other types. This is the cheapest version, friends, at $65. Give us more reprints, please. We have Rogue's Passage in here, so that way you can make your Dakkon blockable. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think if I were to change anything from my original build here, I would drop Strom, since we don't have too much equipment. Pure Steel Paladin would stay in, only because we have so much equipment, or not equipment, artifacts in the deck, and we do have some equipments. But, as always, I am Weston with Hidden Gibbon, and now to some opening hands. Ba-ba-da-ba, and poof, here we are. Look at that. Alright, so let's go here, and let's start the game, shall we? So, we start out here with Rogue's Passage, Plains, Swamp, Arcane Sanctum, and Terra Expanse. This is a lot of lands to start with. We're going to start with our Arcane Sanctum. Oh, I forgot. We draw on our first turn. We start with Arcane Sanctum. Turn 2, I'd probably drop Terramorphic Expanse and pop it. Turn 3, we're just going to pretend this is a basic right now. We'll drop our Drowned Catacombs, and I would probably drop Baleful Strix. Lets us draw a card, draw into a swamp. Next turn, we drop ourselves a swamp. And, you know, actually, we won't drop ourselves a swamp. Drop ourselves a plains. And we can drop ourselves a paladin. You know. Alright, new restart. Zoom out just... There we go. A little bit more. For this, we have Esper Panorama, we have Swamp, and we have Fel the Profane in our hand, so we only have black sources other than this, which can get us a Plains, Island, or Swamp. So not the worst. We will restart again and see its opening hand. In this opening hand, we have Plains, Azorius, Chancery, Evolving Wilds, Attica Waste. We do have Gift of Estates, Swords, Plowshares, and Tequila in here. And for this one, we are starting with 1. So I would mulligan away this hand. Because you're probably, oh, you know, like if you did choose to play the 1 land hand, you would start with 2. And we do have catch up, but not in hand. So, you know, we play this, draw your next turn, you can play this, play your Thematic Compass. Next turn, I would play this as a land. Can I play this? Turn over. Aha! So we have 3. I'd play my Nissa's, my Bitterthorn here. Draw turn, attack. This would let you search for a land, and we're on long. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have a commander that you made, put that in the comments down below. Also, for those of you who made, and if any of you have watched my recent discussion videos, please let me know how those are going. I love talking about random things in Magic the Gathering, and I have a few ideas On the way, I am a boomlennial, and I write things down on a notebook. So yeah, as always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And